Hello, welcome to week 4 of the Grindhouse scrimmages. We have a set today between an EU team and an NA team. Overcome versus Aether. Aether seemingly a little bit of a newer team. Gonna be seeing how they make their debut here on Grindhouse and see what they can put up against Overcome. First set, we're gonna have Potato Sniper on the Demogorgon Coal Tower, playing for Aether, going against Overcome survivors. Looks like he's already found a survivor topside at the main building. Not committing to a chase quite yet, but just gonna be setting up our portals. And this is kind of what you see a lot of times with demo sets, is a lot of just cleaning up the area, making sure it's ready to go with portals, using your corrupt to the full advantage, and kind of taking your time and really setting up the area. We can see he's really patient to start a chase here at this main building. Super worried about it. But biding his time, finding the perfect spot to take a chase. You gotta remember, these survivors are all managing exhaustions like life and balanced landing. So you can't necessarily just start a chase immediately. You gotta kind of pick and choose where you go. And already we're getting... Oh, nope, not quite, not quite. Just
Yeah,
really being patient here.
Potato Sniper playing this super patiently, not trying to start any unnecessary chases right off the bat. We do see that Jake, Proxer Killer, is kind of caught out here at this tile. Going to be playing around the tile. Maybe we make it to the pallet. Does the shred? The shred isn't going to come through, and the swing actually misses. Good spin there from Proxer Killer. But this shred is going to connect and lead to an injury. We are not going to see Shack dropped. Instead, Proxer Killer is going to vault the Shack window, and it looks like we did see a Lithe in play. And Proxer's going to make it all the way around Shack, wasting as much time as possible before giving up that pallet. And Potato Sniper going to use the shred to break it here and continue the chase. But Proxer Killer's kind of here on the bottom side of the map where all these generators are, and is actually going to be running towards the side of the map that we saw a lot of gen progress already. And it looks like Potato Sniper kind of threatens to peel off from the chase, but doesn't. Meanwhile, a gen actually pops off in the distance. Very good play from Overcome here. Proxer just playing this chase really well so far. A little bit of a panic fault.
Great job on the mind games there with that pallet.
Yeah. Proxer Killer unfortunately does go down, and that's going to be the first hook of Georgie. We don't see a pain res in this game. What do you think here?
Wow, no painters here. Possibly going for a more genlock oriented build. You can see he's got a little funny perk down there called Force Hesitation. You know what that tells me? I think he's going to be looking for a funny hook trade here. And you kind of usually see that when a killer wants to play for a high stage win con, but we'll have to see how he does it. No pain res is going to mean he's really going to have to use Eruption to its fullest potential here. But you got to remember, he's got that back pocket Noed, so any trade is a good trade.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what Potato Sniper is cooking here. Does kind of leave the hook in time for the unhook to happen, but Proxer Killer doesn't have any real resources around here. Is going to try to vault the window, and that is actually going to be the borrowed time hit coming through. And Potato Sniper is going to go... Oh, does not choose to tunnel. Actually commits to Milton here, who's kind of caught out on this double window tile. We do know that lots of these bottom side resources have been used. A very good shred is actually going to land Milton despite the fake. And Milton's going to run back towards the bottom side of the map, going to try to waste as much time of the killer as possible. Looks like we're going to see a comp corner death.
Ooh.
Does not quite make the shred, and that just buys so much time. Another gen popping across the map.
Milton doing a great job choosing a good death spot there. You can see this is kind of how you want your M1 killer sets to go, you know, die in the corners of the map. Even if they're relatively good in chase, like a demo, he's not nearly a pushover in chase at all, but you die in those right corners, you get that good gen split going on, you can get a good result on Survivor side. And you can see it kind of didn't work out for him. I mean, when you have Force Hesitation, what you're really looking for as a killer player is to force a trade, and then off that, when that survivor goes down to the hook, you know, you kind of get the little poop walk going on. They really can't go anywhere with the BT off hook, but he just didn't find it, so it's a little bit of a backfire right now. He might have been in a better position if he had pain resonance, but we'll have to see how he plays this next trade. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a genlock down here he can play, so it's gonna be a bit tricky to play. We can see Disaster really poking at him, trying to see if he can get anything going.
Now, one interesting thing to note, though, it does not look like Potato Sniper really has a 3-gen here on the bottom side of the map, despite committing so much with the Eruption and camping this hook. It looks like he's just trying to get some stages here onto Milton. Milton is probably going to go second unless this trade comes through. I don't think they know about force hesitation.
He doesn't know.
And that is going to be the down and the slowdown onto Milton. It looked like Potato Sniper was about to pick. Actually, does go and pick. We don't actually see any perk value from that perk, despite the ideal scenario happening here.
Sniper just willing to kind of let the trades come as they please. You know, maybe he's just kind of confident in getting an endgame slug with Noed going on, but just kind of casually taking his trades. But we do see him actually continue a chase on Adam here. So maybe we were wrong about not chasing, and Adam's in trouble here.
Adam does have this eye filler, is not going to drop it, is going to try to get one more loop around the eye filler. Ooh, mind gaming. Potato Sniper just trying to deny this pallet at all costs. Will Milton make it? Do the ping? Is going to make it and greets the pallet, making even more distance and wasting so much time. His team pops another gen up there on the top side of the map. And right now we have a very good gen spread for our survivors. Another generator actually popping, and now we have Disaster on the hook. Might go second here because of the distance between the generators and the survivor, but Milton is going to continue being in chase here around this tile, this 4-lane. The shred not quite landing. Potato Sniper not quite able to land anything, but now he's going to go straight back over towards the hook, and it looks like we're going to try to see a Noed with the force hesitation to snowball into this endgame.
Adrenaline? Yeah, that was an adrenaline on the Claudette. He does have Noed. He can catch her here unless we see a, well, no bounce landing, right? Because he's exhausted from Noed.
Misses the swing, just a little impatient.
Oh, he's not making it out of this one. Is there anything else he can grab? No, just taking the hook. Oh, no flashlight save. Not today. Close.
That was
you can
super
see
close.
Milton really just put in work there at that endgame chase, using all the resources, dodging everything perfectly. Maybe a little frustration out of Sniper here, but what a great set from the survivors in Overcome. You got to remember, this is NA versus EU, right? So they're dealing with ping, and Demogorgon on ping, his shred already feels like a hitbox of a fridge. You want to add ping into that, it can feel pretty rough. Overall, great set from our serves on Overcome. We'll be joining you next with the serve side for Aether, and that was set one of or match one of set one. Hello, welcome back to match 2 of set 1 in Aether versus Overcome. We just saw the killer for Aether, Potato Sniper, get a 5-stage result on Cold Tower. Now we're going to be watching Overcome answer back with their killer on Cold Tower as well, obviously. And looks like instead of a bot side spawn, we had the demo spawn top side this time. Might make it a little bit harder for the survivors to stealth out this early game, but considering their win con, it might go well. And we do have a chase immediately.
Yeah, very good find here from Proxer Killer, going to be commencing the chase around this tile. Ooh! Drops it on the wrong side. I don't know if that was a panic throw or just maybe a little reversal due to lag. I'm not exactly sure, but that was an unfortunate down there. And Proxer's going to immediately carry them to the top side, going to probably hold this top side 3-gen here. And that is going to be a pain res hook. That is one big difference between the killer's builds that we see this time around. Georgie, what do you think of Proxer Killer's build here?
Yeah, tough start for the survivors here on Aether. It's just kind of an unfortunate chase there, but we see a bit more of a standard demo build here. I mean, you got Bamboozle. You might be thinking, well, he has a shred. Why would you care about that? Problem is, windows on Cold Tower, especially at the main building, can be really rough, and Bamboozle just kind of lets you shut it down really fast. We're going to pause that thought. We have a chaser on Nia. Looks like a little mind game might result in an injury here.
Yeah, we're going to see the shred come through, and that is going to lead to a injury, just like you said about Bamboozle just denying that window, and that's going to be a tag, and it looks like Proxer Killer is going to go straight back to that hook with the portal that he set there earlier, and we're probably going to see a chase onto our tunnel out target. Let's see if Proxer Killer is able to find the scratch marks. Maybe they were healing. Ooh, does find the injured survivor here behind main. And can our ace player get it to the window here? That is going to be a pallet throw. But now the window is in sight. We do see a body block coming through, and it looks like Proxer Killer is going to go ahead and get that tag onto the Zarina J-Man in order to get those injuries flowing. And that is going to be a portal being used to try to cut off the ace from making it to that bottom side. We are going to find the ace here at the shack, but there is no more shack pallet. Instead, we're going to be playing this double window. Does not actually play the eye filler. We're going to be going over here to this window, going to vault it. Proxer Killer going to set up for a shred here due to the bamboozle, and that is going to be a down onto the tunnel out target on 4 generators. That's going to be the second stage.
Ace put in a good effort there, you know, using what's kind of caught out there in the behind the main, but made it to the window. Zarina did a good distraction, but we're in kind of the same situation, right? Another hook next to a progress generator in a gen lock. You have to wonder, and now this time with more injuries, how much more can they sustain? I mean, these injuries are going to start to stack up, right? This is where you get 1 slug and a hook, or possibly more, and he's just interrupting these, but hook comes through fast. And Proxer looking for the chase here, maybe wanting to go for another pain res, and Zarina's in a bad spot.
Does not quite get that injury onto the Zarina, but will get that follow-up shred. Zarina trying to make it to that window, does not quite make that vault, and that will be a very quick down. And just like you said, it's probably going to be a pain res on this middle hook here. That is a very strong hook for the killer. It allows our killer to camp the very, very important top side 3-gen, as well as pressure pretty much the entire map from that position. But here we do see Proxer Killer wanting more, is going to find the injured Nia here in main. That is going to be a balanced landing, a little bit of a sky demo play down towards the side of the map. And can Nia make it?
Agreed.
Nia's not going to drop the pallet, but Proxer Killer misses. The shred is going to collide with that generator. We are going to see the pallet drop now, and that is going to be a continued chase, going to be vaulting the jungle gym here, going to go down to the side of the map as well. A shred coming through, and Proxer Killer gets a second down on the top side of the map.
You know, already we're nearing the Tycon for the original result. Aether, or the team Aether, their demo only got 5 stages. We're already at 3, but there's more pain res to come. You can see he's already got 2 tokens left on pain res, and to me that's kind of the main difference in the set. Not even really much chases, just sort of like the pressure you get from pain res is just unrivaled, and you can see it's really coming in now, and we're 1 stage away from Tycon here, so it's gonna be a miracle for Aether here to get out of this with a win.
Yeah, we do see that. I mean, you know, we have all the survivors injured. They're going to have to reset somewhere on the map, and we have this very tight gen lock on the top side that just was not able to be broken despite the early chases kind of being brought here to the bottom. And that is going to be a miss shred here around this eye filler. That's going to be a continued chase onto the Claudette.
Yes,
that is going to land.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of greed coming through for these survivors, but greed against demo doesn't always work out, does it? And with the ping, that chase does eventually get closed out. Tyro, I'm thinking this isn't even going to be like, this is going to be a blowout. I think this might be a high win con here. I mean, we got Ace on Death Hook. Arnia here at 1 is about to go second stage. Going back to confirm it, he might interrupt a pull here, and she's going to go second, and that's going to be 6 stages. That's the win for Overcome. So yeah, just a bit of a tough stat. Unlucky for Aether here, but you know, maybe we can keep morale's high and play it out smoothly.
Yeah, they are going to be playing out for the best result possible still. Proxer Killer does not quite get that hit onto Claudette. Is going to be chasing after what appears to be the healthy Zarina, but is actually going to go back to that hook. And the survivors have kind of just largely been ignoring this hook, just kind of letting the survivor here hang maybe till last second in order to get some much needed gen pressure. But Proxer is actually going to find the double out, and we do have our tunnel out target Ace here, who is on Death Hook. That is going to be a shred, making quick work of that pallet, and then we're going to be going down into this tile. There's going to be a pallet here, but Proxer is going to be zoning him away from the middle of the map, going to be trying to get him over to this weaker bottom side where the resources have already been kind of dried up. And that is going to be a continued chase. There is a pallet here, and that's going to be a chase back up towards the top side of the map. The shred is going to land. Very good shred from Proxer Killer, going to be leading the chase back up towards this generator that had lots of progress. And our Ace is just trying to do as much as they can in order to get as much distance away from the killer as possible. But again, these resources have just been depleted by the demo shreds, and that is going to be a down onto this survivor, and that's going to be a kill once the pickup happens.
Great effort from Ace. You really see, like, sometimes that's all you can do against Demo is just feed him pallets, right? I mean, you saw that extends the chase time a lot, getting through those resources, but not much left to work with, and that's going to be his death. We're looking at 2 injuries and 1 healthy survivor with 1 death at 3 gens. This is really, really rough for the survivors. But seeing how they can... There's 1 gen. Yep, all they got to do is spread out, and those gens will start popping. Proxer looking to find an injured survivor, and he does find a Claudette, but she's got Sprint Burst.
Going to be running around this double window. The shred going to connect through the vault. Very good on Proxer Killers, sending that vault there. And that is going to be a very pivotal hook as well. I mean, it looks like we're going to be dragging them to that bottom mid hook. That is just such a strong hook, and especially given this gen spread. I mean, look at where the generators all are. This is going to be very easy for Proxer Killer to transition into holding this for the late game. Just going to get so much pressure here, getting rid of all that progress with some dry kicks. And then continuing chase here onto J-Man.
Oh, we might have a chaser on Nia. Does find her injured. Oh, she's going to be going down. Just no pallet to play there, and this is closing in on a 4K2 here. You know, you can see the big result Painrez had here. Just so much pressure, and if he didn't have it, imagine how many more gens would have been done, or how much progress wouldn't have been stalled. You know, screw having pop, screw having eruption, but an FTP comes out to keep them back in it.
Ooh, Zarina does kind of get caught out here. Very good crouch tech from J-Man. Going to be going down into the corner of the map, stalling out as much time as possible. Maybe the teammate, Zaya, is going to get to the unhook here. It does not look like it. They might be trying to set up for some sort of hatch play, but at the same time, with that slug on the ground, it looks very unlikely. We are going to find them at this God Filler. Going to be running around. This looks like a shred could end it all, and that is going to be a shred getting the down. The pallet does not come out in time, and that is going to be a 4K2 result from Proxer Killer. Very well played from Overcome's Killer here.
Great job by Overcome's Killer, Proxer Killer, and of course, very well played from the survivors for Overcome. You know, Tyro, if we're looking at the big difference between the set, for me it's the perks. I mean, the pain resonance, the Noad in the back pocket, the bamboozle to make sure the chases are short. It's just, it's good. It's the reason why it's the standard, and we see why Demo can be just so threatening on this map.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Proxer Killer used his perks phenomenally this game. Good pain res value, very good bamboozle value to close out those chases really quickly, and just very good hook positioning as well. Kind of transitioned into that end game. But that is going to be the first match here of Grindhouse Scrims. We are going to go into the Oni set next between these two teams, Aether versus Overcome. So please do stick around for that set, and we will see you soon.
Hello, welcome back to the Aether versus Overcome set. We are on set number 2. We just watched Overcome actually just win pretty hardly on the demo set. Now we're moving on into Oni Coal Tower. Now, Oni Coal Tower, oh, that early first hit! This is not how you wanted to start. Milton getting a first hit so early, and I was about to talk about how you really kind of want to deny that, but looks like that's going to be changing here. He's might go down immediately. What a disaster start. Really, really tough for the survivors on Aether. I mean, I was going to say you want to deny blood, but in a kind of twisted, weird way, this is almost good for the survivors because Ace did die fast enough that there's no power for the Oni. I mean, he didn't get a chance to drop any blood, but nonetheless, a very, very rapid start from Milton on Overcome here.
Yeah, that is pretty devastating getting first hit that early, but like you said, without the, you know, blood follow-up, because the down happened so quickly, Milton does not have power, which means that we're probably still going to have to see a hit in order to secure that power, unless the unhook comes through early and Milton's able to get it that way. A bit of a mind game here on this eye filler is not going to lead to a hit, and Milton's just going to take the pallet and go back towards the hook, where it looks like Zaya was here in order to try to get the unhook, but is going to be forced off. And now we're going to see the chase here taken to main, but Milton has his eyes set on this top generator. A survivor was working this, but Milton is not going to give anyone any room on this unhook and is going to actually confirm the second stage here. And that's going to be very good for pressure.
What a very strong start from the Oni for Overcome here. Really just using that first hit early, and you know, there's two kind of playstyles you see with Onis in Cold Tower sets. Sometimes they leave the hook and go for pressure with all the power, and just keep cycling powers with fresh injuries. Holding that thought, we have a chase with 2 survivors at 11 here.
Yeah, going to be chasing J-Man. Meanwhile, the unhook does come through onto Vastus, but that is going to be a hit here onto the Zarina. J-Man going to be injured now, and that's going to be Milton with the power. And we're going to see Milton actually activate the power and going to be demon dashing around the map, trying to get any target he can find. Looking over here at the strong... Oh, very good flick from Milton. Going to lead to J-Man going down.
Awesome 180. Love to see it. You know, Milton, we've seen him play Oni before in other leagues and now here in the Grindhouse. Very good and well-known Oni player. It's going to be a challenge to... it's definitely going to be a challenge to run him in power. Now back to what I was saying about Oni, you know, we did kind of see there is the pressure playstyle, but what we saw earlier is generally with Oni, you can just kind of hold your power and not pop it, and then confirm your second stages. And with the pain resist coming in, it's going to be hard for the survivors. What a greed from Voss here.
Yeah, Voss just going to greed the pallet, but that's going to actually lead to a hit and giving Milton the power yet again. And that is just something you need to deny at all costs against the Oni. I'm very shocked to see that kind of greed. And it looks like a bird is going to snitch on someone down here on this generator. We're going to see Milton dash down, and it looks like that they're caught out here at this pallet. Very safe play coming through from Zaya, going to drop the pallet early. But now they're kind of in this dead zone. Can Milton capitalize on it? Going to be, ooh, another nasty flick from Milton, going to lead to a down.
Love to see it. I love Oni flicks. Just love watching good Oni play. I mean, he's a very mechanical killer. You gotta come in warm, and I wouldn't expect anything less from our boy Milton here. That said, it's still looking a bit rough for the survivors, but they can come back. I mean, you know, the silver lining, the pain res tokens are running out. He's not gonna have these forever. And, you know, maybe stop the bleeding, start doing the gens on the side of the map. You just need one good chase. I mean, out of power, he's an M1 killer, right? So, yeah, you know, Oni sets are so volatile. It just takes one good M1 chase, and these survivors can bring it back. It's not over yet.
That is going to be a gen popped at the top side of the map. Finally, the first gen of the game is going to fly, and Milton is going to go up there and investigate, is going to find a very big pool of blood to nibble right up. And another power activation, a demon dash. This might confirm into a down yet again. We're kind of near the hook as well. Ooh, a very interesting pathing here. J-Man going to be running right by Milton, and Milton's kind of caught off guard, is going to miss that flick. Going for another, and that's not quite going to land. Milton kind of getting a little bit greedy here with the flicks. Going to be going down here, though. Very good job from Milton catching J-Man off guard like this, and that is going to be another pickup and hook. Meanwhile, Zaya across the map is actually going to second stage. They weren't able to get the unhook.
Now you're kind of seeing the punishment for greeting gens while you're injured. You see that Milton was able to go grab that blood pool, but we have a potential another hit coming in, and it's going to be another power. Oh, this is not looking good. What a rough time, and I don't think Ace has been hooked yet. He's a possible pain res, but Milton may be committing Ace here. It looks like it.
Ace is on death hook.
Oh. My mistake. Milton looking to pop power and eliminate Ace from this game.
Yeah, very strong power usage here from Milton. Unfortunately, that unhook was just not, did not come through at the right time. Milton was able to get that hit and get a lot of pressure going. Going to be looking around the pallets, trying to catch survivors off guard. Is actually going to find Zarina here. Goes for a flick. J-Man lives to tell another story, but we are going to see the down come out right afterwards, and that is going to be J-Man. I believe that's going to be Death Hook. Am I mistaken?
That is a death on the Zarina. Wow. Just a really, really hard hard snowball for the survivors. I mean, they're in full recovery mode. A lot of blood all over the map. I think they're just scrambling to get gens done. And you know, if you're the Oni here, you're sitting very pretty. You just got to find your blood pools. And well, with the Keto's crutch, those downs are going to be happening fast. I mean, I don't know how you run a killer moving at 100 and what's Oni speed in a Keto? It's got to be like 150 plus. It's definitely faster
You're
than
the
Victor.
Oni player. I wouldn't know that.
I don't know the numbers. I just like to do the flicks.
That is going to be a stun here coming through. Vastus is going to get some distance off of that, but we do see the double bam. Oh my goodness.
God!
A very good read here from Milton, going to lead to Vastus going down, and that's going to be yet another death hook here at 4 gens. And that is going to be a lot of work that the survivors are going to need to put in to put up a result here, because we do see the 4K 4 is kind of imminent. We don't see any heals come through. Milton is just free to get as much power as he wants. The pain reses, the pops, all just contributing to so much pressure on these generators. And Milton
One
is
gen's
going
got to pop. It has to. There's no way this is 4K4. Surely she's working another gen in distance, but Milton...
I think Milton is wise to that, though, and is going to be dashing around looking for it, but is actually going to go back onto Voss. That's going to be a down, and is Milton going to greed or pick up? It looks like Milton does actually pick up Voss.
Wow, What a... Oh, and then another pain res. Well, if you weren't looking at 4K4 before, you know, now you kind of are. What an incredibly creative interaction there at that shack with the bamboozle. I love Milton's mind game there, and he hears this Nancy in main. I think this might be a wrap for the survivors and Overcome. What a strong, dominant performance from Milton here on the Oni. Really knows his stuff. Playing the mechanics.
Milton did hear Nancy.
Did he not hear her?
Oh no, he's just gonna get the bam on the window first, not giving Nancy any room with the resources. Is going to find Nancy up here, and then we're going to see the demon dash coming through. Is Nancy going to go for some sort of unhook play? No, or is just going to see them chase around the main building and go... Ooh, not quite going down. Very good flare from Xayah here. Going to be vaulting the pallet into the front of the building. And it looks like Xayah's not quite going to make it into the locker. The ping difference is just a little too much. And that is going to be another down and securing the 4K4. Very well played from Milton here.
Great flare from Xayah. Unfortunately, just not enough to get any sort of difference in the result here. You know, it looks like the game just kind of fell apart because too many injuries came out. That early hit and then into the early second stage secure, and then just not getting the resets off of the Oni powers. It leads to a lot of blood pools, and that's what you see in Oni sets. Just snowball after snowball. So very volatile set. Unfortunate for the survivors on Aether. We'll catch back with you. Stick with us around. We're going to go to the second Oni match. This is Aether versus Overcome Week 4 Grindhouse. Hello, welcome back to match number 2 of Aether versus Overcome. We're watching the killer for Aether on the Oni set this time. Now, Overcome did just have an insane performance. Milton playing for them on killer got a 4K4. So Razor is definitely up against the wall for a win con here. Maybe he can eke out a tie and get the tiebreaker for his team. Or maybe he goes GOAT mode and gets a 4K5, but we'll have to see. Kind of taking his time, making sure he needs a good early game if he's going to reach a tie con here or a win con. So he's just going to really have to find a good survivor to break into this hit. But Overcome playing it slow. Uderick almost getting hit there, and we have a chase immediately.
Yeah, very safe play from Fooder here. Going to be avoiding that hit by stealthing by the pallet. And now we're going to be playing this bottom side tile, trying to transition into the shack, it looks like. But Razor Laser not going to give any room, going to be vaulting that window with the bamboozle, and it does not look like we're on power. Oh, yeah, we are not on pallet side here on the shack, and that is going to be a hit. It looks like Razor Laser is going to be chasing Fooder around the bottom side of the map in this kind of dead zone area. We don't even see a pallet spawn here. Going to be trying to get as much distance using the obstacles as possible.
That's a down.
Balance. This is going to be a very quick down. I wonder if there's enough blood for power, though. This is a very similar start than to what we saw last game as well. Maybe not as quick of a down, but still, we are going to see that. Very fast down, some blood being absorbed, and
He
that
might
is a
have
pain
enough.
res.
He might have enough for power here. Great start for Razor. If you're an Oni and you want a good result, this is
Ooh.
certainly the beginnings of one. Just barely off of enough power. And does interrupt the double gen here. Looks like this is 2 survivors, and we can see 2 survivors on this gen at 9 here on the hill. Gets a pop on. This is honestly looking pretty strong. But a gen does pop at 11. Can he
That
bring
is
this
going to be the
back?
Tycon. But Razor Laser can still get that win condition if the cards are played correctly. Going to be looking around this popped gen for the person who popped it, wanting to get that tag for that last bit of power that we just barely did not eke out.
Oh,
Going to be finding a chase here on the main building onto Mooney. Mooney going to be running around the back side of the building, getting caught on the lockers just a tad here. Going to be dropping the pallet to get a lot more distance here. Razor Laser having to path around the car, and Mooney actually going to be running towards the middle of the map where we did not see. Oh, we do see an eye filler here. Very safe play around it though. We do see the Bloodlust 1 coming in
doesn't
onto
kick.
Razor Laser. Yeah, we do not see the pallet kick. We're just going to be bloodlusting this pallet. I think Mooney is going to be able to loop this for quite some time here.
Oh, he gets a
does
hit!
kind of get stuck there on the pallet, and that is going to be a hit, confirming the power. And Razor Laser is going to activate the power, going to
Going
be
for the
chasing around.
injured player?
Yeah, going to be committing here onto Mooney. Does not quite get that flick. Very good crouch here from Mooney, going to be avoiding the hit. And is this going to be... I imagine we see a locker up, but actually we don't see a down at all. Razor Laser's going to break away from that chase. Going to be trying to pressure the other generators. Does not want to give up that win condition, I think.
I can't tell where this guy is going. He's going all over the place. It was a little bit tricky to see what.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the win for Overcome. Unfortunately, a good effort by Razor, but unfortunately, just too good of a start from the survivors on Overcome, and that's going to be the power out. He can't quite find a survivor, but we have this double window. Could be a down here.
Yeah, he's going to find Mooney injured, leaking blood, and is actually going to go for a hit. No, does not go for the hit on Proxer. Instead, is going to go back towards the chase on Mooney, just trying to get some sort of down, trying to get as much pressure as possible. Very good vaults here for Mooney, though, going to be looping around this 4 lane, and this is going to lead to a down, but Mooney wasted so much time there for the M1 chase. Ooh, but we do actually catch out Proxer Killer, setting up for some sort of save. That's going to be another injury, but we do not see the power come through yet. We're just about halfway there. Going to be vaulting that window on this 4 lane. Proxer Killer trying to delay this down as long as possible. Another gen popping down here at 5, though, is going to give them a nice buffer on getting a very good result. But this chase here onto Proxer Killer going to continue right to the pallet. We do see a death under the pallet. Razor Laser not quite going to pick up just yet. Going to pick up now? Do we see a save?
No save. Oi, oi, oi. Some mistakes, some goofy comedy happened this set. A little bit of mispositioning from the survivors, but yeah, as you can see, they're just saying, we're okay. We're okay. Sit on those gens and buy that time. And Razor, granted, put up a valiant effort. Good start, trying to go for a tough win con, but it's really tough, and he's gonna get a hit on Aether here at the 4 lane.
Very weird though. There's enough blood orbs for him to get power, but instead he gets the hit onto Fooder instead. Is not going to go for the power hit. It's kind of just swinging around here.
He heard the gen. It's fighting his demons. There's a ghost on the gen.
But we are going to see another gen pop off in the distance. We catch Mooney out here
Nice
in the
hit.
open. Going to be going down. Very, very tough situation for the survivors. Now we see a down right next to the hook. We see Fooder still injured, and the power is still up, and the healthy disaster is going to be caught out here. Not quite going to get that landing on that power.
Oni
Going
making
to go
this
back to
unhook
secure the hook.
really difficult for the survivors. He wants this 4K, and he wants it now. Really trying to eke it out, and Disaster's greeting for it. He's cocky. He's saying, come and get me, Oni.
We're not going to
And
see
the
a
power
flick,
goes
and that's
out.
going to be power gone. The hit coming through onto Disaster, going to give back half of the power meter. But then we're just going to continue the chase onto Proxer, who I believe is Death Hook now.
Look, Ace.
Is going to get the borrowed time hit and give Proxer so much distance. and we don't see that these walls were broken out yet. Instead, Razor Laser's going to go back to this pallet, kicking it, and Proxer Killer going to make so much distance off of that combo of events. Meanwhile, we are down to the last generator, and the survivors, they have a very good gen split despite the win con. Normally with a win con like that, you throw all macro out the window and just kind of get the generators you need, but at the same time, they kept up with it and have a very good gen split here.
Yeah, you can see they really did crank those gens. No care in the world for patience and being careful here. Razor popping power might go for a flick. A lot of goofiness going on. Survivor's just running around. And Disaster's probably going to give him the pallet. Doesn't get the stun, but might be going down here. We'll have to see if Razor can get the flick. And the head-on comes through!
The head-on stun denying the down onto their teammate. Going to be chasing around the windmill. The power ticking down. 2 injured survivors caught out here. It looks like Disaster's going to take the down, though. I think Disaster's a fresh hook, though.
What a curious decision. Into an adrenaline! No way.
That time just a little bit better. That would have been amazing, because Disaster would have been able to get out of there. But instead, Disaster's back on the ground, and we are going to continue our chase around Fooder. However, the survivors were on the door. We're going to see an M1 play here, going to be getting the down in the corner.
It's a fiesta. What's happening? There's 4 injured players. Everyone's just around. There's no pals left. Gets out of the Z-wall in the corner of the map. There's blood everywhere. Oni can pop power. I want a 4-man slug. Come on. Give us a good finale.
He's not absorbing any blood orbs, is instead just trying to play this out as an M1 killer. And Proxer playing this tile super well, breaking the chase. We're finally going to see this pallet broken despite it getting so much value throughout the game. And now the survivors are lining up to take hits.
He made mid-map? When?
Oh, but we see enough blood orbs to get a power. This could be a down.
Come on, Oni.
might be down here.
He has to dodge this. He has to. And the hit comes through, but the heal tech is a potential.
Heal tech? That's gonna be yet another down. Ooh,
and he gets the pick.
Going to see the firecracker!
Oh my god!
That's gonna be a save. Master Mooney going to make it out, and that's a 4 out.
Well, leave it to Overcome to end the set in style. That is going to be a win for Overcome on both the Oni and demo set. What a great match. Very fast paced. Unfortunately, Aether couldn't break it through this week, but we got to thank them for coming out, and thank you to the viewers for sticking through with this set. And that will end our Overcome versus Aether set for today. Please stick around. More DBD to come.
Okay, we got the Mastermind tiebreaker. We decided to play this out anyways, so we are going to see the 3rd set here from Aether versus Overcome. And it is Weskin time for Aether. Potato Sniper on the killer up against Overcome's survivors. And this is going to be a very exciting matchup.
Potato Sniper, what a great name. On the Mastermind here for Cold Tower. So glad we got to play this set out. I love watching Mastermind sets. So much opportunity for skill expression. I love seeing the movement of survivors dodging the dashes. I love seeing Weskers do all the cool techs, even if they play pretty standard, but potential chaser, and it's an immediate hit!
Very good dash here from Potato Sniper, going to lead to an injury and an infection onto Fooder. Fooder going to be taking the chase up towards the middle of the map. Can we see Potato Sniper get a dash here? Going to be dashing, but not quite getting that second one. And that is going to be a continued chase around the tile here. Going to be dropping that pallet.
Not
Potato
quite.
Sniper.
Not quite committing to the dash here. You can see the add-ons. He's got Unicorn Medallion and I think that's the infection rate one. Hits ain't coming through for Ada here. It's gonna come through, but you gotta remember these infections stack up, and every infection reduces the cooldown for Wesker's power, so this could go bad. And Ada's fully infected. That's an 8% slow. So what does this main building really mean?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if Potato Sniper is going to be able to, you know, benefit from the hinder is actually going to drop the chase and get a tag onto this generator. A quick dry kick. Proxer, on the other hand, is going to be cleansing down there on the bottom side of the map. And Potato Sniper, gets a very good dash onto Milton here back at this generator. And this is just a lot of stacked injuries very early on. Very interesting style of play of Wesker. Kind of hit and run.
Oh,
Disaster DCs though. And
we have some technical difficulties happening.
Yeah, looks like all right, I don't know what to make of this. So please stay tuned. We'll see what's going on, and we'll see you. Oh, it looks like we do have 2 second wins actually.
Ah, I see the problem.
Ah, 2 second
Some illegal
wins.
shenanigans happening. Well,
Unlucky.
thankfully, this is only a tiebreaker for fun. No official shenanigans happening. So we might meet. We'll meet back with you again when we reload the match.
All right, we are back. Sorry for the confusion. There were duplicate perks in the game. Our ref did not manage to catch them, unfortunately. And Potato Sniper did have kind of a pretty good start, multiple injuries, so it is kind of sad. However, we are restarting, and we will keep the violation of rules in mind going forward. But this is a fun, a for-fun set. So we do see Potato Sniper here up against Overcome Survivors, going to be chasing the Leon here. Disaster is going to make it off the main building using the balance landing to get away, and that is going to actually cause Potato Sniper to get away from that chase and instead commit to Fooder down here on the side.
Different add-ons coming out from this Wesker this time. Last time we saw Infection Rate. This time we're seeing Jewel Beetle, which can actually allow for some funny interactions with some quick downs with edge map throws. Aether dropping this pallet. Wesker could get a hit here with the power, and he is. Very clean double dash.
A very good play from Potato Sniper, getting that injury. Fooder kind of caught out here. He's going to have to play this Tank Treads tile. And this is kind of an easy one for Wesker to get it down with, but it's actually just going to leave and instead going down here in the middle of the map. Very unfortunate death spot for the survivors, but that is a very good down for Potato Sniper. And honestly, very good start yet again.
Fooder not quite judging the distance correctly there to make a getaway, and Wesker wisely catching the out. But, like Tyro said, great start. Already finding survivors on the top main gen here. And he's going to pressure him off. Gotta remember, Wesker can go from 6 stages to 4K2s. We've seen it in the past, so, you know, not a pushover killer at all. Good dash by Disaster. We'll have to see how he plays his double windows.
And Disaster doing a good job evading the hits from the Wesker power, is going to be playing this double window, doing a very good job just not giving Potato Sniper any room. Is going to get grabbed here. Very good dashes here from Potato Sniper. Going to lead to Disaster getting injured and trying to make as much distance towards main as possible. The unhook onto Fooder comes through, but we're not actually going to see a tunnel out. Instead, Potato Sniper just going to go back towards Disaster, trying to get a chase going. It does not look like anything is going to connect just yet. My DoorDash is here, so Georgie, take it away.
No problem. Potato Sniper had a really good double flick at that window tile in 11. A Disaster doing a good job of keeping this chase going, really just linking the tiles here in this coal tower, and that's what you see on this map, always just linking the windows. He's got a Orman tile and a jungle gym, just really having fun with it here. Wesker changing target, finding, are we gonna get a throw injury? Not quite, just barely. Proxer missing the injury at the wall. Sniper wants more, going for another dash, so greedy for it. Doesn't find the connection, and he's doing a good job of playing this tile, but does find an M1. And that's a pallet drop coming through. Does fake the kick. Little cheeky play here. Just gonna come through with a brutal strength. We might see a double dash here for a connection. Is he gonna hit it? And just barely misses. What a great dodge.
Yeah, kind of gets a little keck tech there. Is going to be looping around the shack. Does not quite get the read onto the vault. Very patient from Proxer Killer, going to be looping around the shack. And Potato Sniper not able to quite connect anything just yet. The Survivor's doing a great job of just denying the usage of the power. And I think Potato Sniper's a little lost now. Did go over to check this generator and doesn't find anyone.
Definitely slowed down here a lot. Just went from constant chases, but you saw Disaster had that good chase topside and got enough time for the survivors to reset. Now we're working with 1 injury, well, 2 injuries and a full infection. And he's found his full infection chase right here at the main. Doesn't want to take it though. Looking for a chase on Disaster here at the Jungle Gym.
Ooh, he's going to be vaulting this pallet, denying a hit even further. And now Disaster is going right back down to that bottom side of the map, and the survivors have a very good gen spread here. Potato Sniper not able to get anything going after that very good first chase, it seems. Proxer is going to be healed up, but is very slowed and is insta-downable here. Oh,
No!
does not quite land the second dash though, and instead is going to make it to the main building. Very good play from Milton here, dropping these pallets, not giving, you know, allowing his teammate to get distance. He is hindered. Potato Sniper really trying to get that down onto Proxer, but is going to have to do some renovation on these pallets first. Trying to get a mind game off on main building. It's very difficult, but we do actually find Proxer here on the edge of the map. That's going to be
that's a hit!
Milton. The
a
Jewel
hit!
Beetle. That should
Jewel Beetle
be a
coming
hit.
through! And it's a down! Wow.
Ooh.
What a goofy add-on. Just allows for those kind of interactions where you... Oh, what a potential firecracker!
Oh
and
my
it's a save!
gosh!
Where did that come
Potato
from?
Sniper did so good getting that down, and then it was just taken away with the use of that firecracker. Very good from Overcome Survivors here. It's going to be in continued chase onto Milton. Milton is injured, and that infection is ticking. We are going to go back to this eye
comes
tile
a
that wasn't
dash.
broken earlier.
It's a hit.
Oh, very good hit onto Milton here, and we will have to see what Potato Sniper is able to do. Going to get the pickup onto Milton and go for that hook.
I love seeing Jewel Beetle value, just seeing them. I mean, unfortunately, Milton just kind of seemingly hit in the air of the tree. Maybe there's the spirit ancestors of that tree line over there hanging out that he's praying for. Disaster doing a great pre-run on the hill, making sure, you know, you could tell he's primed and ready to use that balanced landing, and Potato Sniper looking to snipe some potatoes. Potentially finding a crop of them here, but Disaster doing a great job avoiding any potential threat. But as soon as I say that, takes the ball
man.
and finds an M1.
Going to be an injury onto Disaster, and the dashes are going to follow. Is going to try to go for it. Ooh, very
Close.
good play from Disaster here. Disaster's just super hard to hit with these Wesker dashes. Going to be dying in the edge map, it looks like. Going to buy his team as much time as possible to get the generators done. And this is going to be the third stage here for Potato Sniper once this hook comes through.
Good little Compington Magoo corner from the Leon in this set. We love seeing them go into the corner and point like they want to go somewhere. Obviously, that's just so they can move the second they get down. And Prox are going to take this brutal strength, dry kick the gen. Only 2 pain reses come out so far this match. He's got to find those other 2 pain reses if he wants to hold this gen. Just not really a holdable gen lock. You can see the survivors on Overcome really did a good job splitting, but that last gen pop comes through, and we're only at 3 stages. I'll have to see what he does for this endgame.
Yeah, we do find Proxer Killer here. He is actually going to get injured. Going to be running through the main building, and main is where you can buy a lot of time in chase. So Proxer is probably going to spend a lot of time here trying to get his teammates out the door, maybe trade his life. That would still be a very good result. The hit not quite connecting here due to the ping difference. And it looks like the survivors are probably, yeah, they're going to set up a hit take train right there to the edge of the map, letting Proxer Killer get out unless this dash comes through. A very clean dash, but does not quite land. And that is going to be the outs for Overcome here. And Potato Sniper ends with how many? Was that like 4 stages?
3 stages.
Wow, very good play from Overcome. And we have much more very good plays coming soon. We are going to see Aether their survivors go up against Overcome's Wesker here in a bit, and then we have even more matches afterwards, so please stay tuned. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you very, very soon. Okay, welcome back to Grindhouse Week 4. We have Aether versus Overcome. This is the for fun tiebreaker match here. Disaster on the Wesker, and we do have a bit of a different build here, and a very fast first chase on the top side of the map. Disaster doing a good job just zoning away Voss from all these resources. Is not going to get the hit through that pallet, though.
Good stun.
Very ambitious from Disaster to go for that, and that's going to be a dash here into this jungle gym. Very patient, and that's going to be the first injury of the game.
We see Egg and Unicorn Medallion coming out. Very popular from a lot of Wesker mains. Opening up some opportunities that you might not get otherwise without those add-ons. And just the standard brutal strength coming through for Wesker, allowing for those quick 2 dashes. Voss correctly avoiding the window and avoiding the dash there. Now it's his job to make it back to the window. And Disaster doesn't want that allowed to happen. This might be a hit. He does get a hit.
Very good zoning from Disaster there on that window. This is going to be a pickup and probably the first hook of the game unless some shenanigans are afoot. But we are going to see Disaster get that mid hook, which is extremely strong for a killer like Wesker, who can use mobility to just pressure so many gens around it. And it looks like we're actually going to find a generator here with quite a bit of progress. And the 2 survivors that were on it are actually caught off guard, going to be playing this tile gym. Disaster not quite able to land that second dash, but this is just so much pressure being removed from those generators.
Such a fast-paced game, always in chase seemingly. Kate just getting caught out by the left side of her arm there. Grabbed, pinned to the tree, and unspeakable things done to her by the Weskington Magoo. Looking for a follow-up hit, might find something here. Disaster really doing quite a little bit of a mind game. Oh, we have our Kate just kind of hanging out there in the open. And that's an interesting hit, but nonetheless a down for Disaster.
They are able to convert that down into a gen pop, though, getting some gen pressure going. But another gen is going to be hit by a pain res here off of that hook. And Disaster is going to be dashing away from that hook, trying to get more value out of this ruin that he has in his build by pushing the survivors off this generator and having it regress. And look how much progress was on that generator before, and now there's just none. Just very well played from Disaster here. Is actually going to find Voss out in the edge of the map. And that was a very quick down.
Voss not quite looking at the right spot, heard the Terius, but didn't exactly know where the Wesker was coming from. And that's possibly, is that a second stage on Voss? I think so, right? Yeah, he was first hook. So we have...
And a pain res.
Another pain res token coming through. Ruin still up, chipping away at these gens. Just a suffocating spot for these survivors. Already at the Tycon for Disaster here for Overcome. And looking like Disaster wants to keep the pressure going.
Yeah, Disaster was going to go for the tunnel out, but instead Vastus here is going to be taking aggro, placing himself in front of the Wesker dash, going to be making it around this rock filler and playing it. Very good vault, going to be keeping as much distance away from Disaster as possible. We are going to see this window be played, this Ormond tile. Very good fake from Disaster to try to get some distance, and a dash could actually come through here, and that is exactly what we are going to see. Disaster gets yet another down in the power. Meanwhile, we see Private Demo and Voss, they both have to deal with infection and are injured, and that's just so much slowdown with that ruin ticking away at the generators that they could be working.
Just a passive part of Wesker's kit, keeping those injuries going, and then along with every tag, you gotta heal and you gotta spray. So, you know, Wesker having some macro capabilities there. Finding Nancy here, stuck out at the tile at 10, does get a quick hit on the tree. Oh, seemingly stuck on some collision there, and it's not gonna quite work out for her.
Unlucky for Zaya there. It does look like there was some sort of collision bug or input lag. I'm not exactly sure what. But that is going to be a hook here, another pain res, and Disaster's setting himself up for maybe a 4k4. We're not sure what the gen pressure is looking like across the map. But the survivors are getting the resets off onto Private Demo and Voss, but that is 2 survivors on hook with no gen pressure, and Ruin was just cleansed. So there was quite a hefty amount of regression coming through already. And it looks like Disaster didn't notice the scratch marks down there, and that they were already downstairs. Is going to find both survivors, one of which is going for the unhook here. Vastus is going to reach second stage though, but Xayah is going to get unhooked, and Disaster's going to be pressuring Vastus's hook now with the dash.
I mean, we're just in the montage now. It's like just hitting air blocks apparently. Kate needs to shed a couple pounds, hit the vegan diet apparently. But Disaster really just having a circus with this. I mean, what do you do here? You got a survivor on hook, 2 injuries, 3 infections. It's such a hard spot to make it out of. I can imagine the comms are a little bit muddied. But Nancy playing it patient, not going over easily here at this tile at 11.
Yeah, Xayah going to be in chase now. Disaster's dash is not quite making it through those tank treads, and Xayah is going to make this mid-filler pallet here. Going to see what they are able to do, is going to drop it, and a very quick break from Disaster, using that brutal strength to his advantage. Going to be blocking Nancy off from this pallet, but not quite. Nancy's still going to make it, and now we're going to see if the check spots can hold up. A little bit of a panic vault is going to come through, though, and that's going to be another down onto Xayah. Disaster hears someone working up here.
Greedy for a tag up here on the main, doesn't want to pick yet, says I want more, and is maybe gets to get hit through the bounce landing, doesn't quite get it in time. Vast doing his best job to avoid it, and Nancy is probably going to be picked up here unless we see some flashbang shenanigans. Doesn't look likely, and I think, is Nancy Deathhook?
I think Nancy was only hooked once on that pain res hook there at 9.
Yes,
this is going to be the second stage. I do know that Ace is Deathhook and Voss is Deathhook. Private Demo, though, is going to be that last stack of pain res, and it could maybe be very pivotal to hide from the killer, I say, as she gets found here. And that is very unfortunate. That is going to be the most hook stages possible if they were to be camped to death. And it will be even more regression with that pain res. Disaster going to be dashing, cutting them off from the resources, and getting the down very quickly.
Awesome hit. You can see Disaster very comfortable with the power here on Wesker, getting a lot of nice conversions. Just beautiful play. Love watching good Wesker play. And potentially a hit off of the unhook here. Does he get it? No, it's only an injury. Doesn't get the body slam for a mending hit. But this is a Deathhook ace being chased around the main. He'll have to make this last if he wants to live.
Very creative window vault there. Did catch Disaster off guard, but are we going to see... Ooh, does not quite get the flare. It looks like Vastus was trying to keck tech Disaster there, but that is not going to land, and that is going to be... that is actually the last pain res. Vastus on Deathhook. I misspoke earlier. I apologize. But that is going to be the last pain res and a death here at 4 generators, and Disaster is setting himself up for a very good result here.
Yeah, the survivors just unfortunately not able to make these chases last quite long enough. But Claudette unfortunately does get tagged here. Disaster really using a bit of a rebound tech there on that pellet to get an injury. And he's just using this egg well. You can see one of the subtle things about egg that a lot of people don't recognize is there is a little bit of a speed boost after you end your first bound that allows for a quick adjustment for an hit, but a great single dash to follow up for Disaster here. And that's another Deathhook survivor on his shoulder and soon to join the campfire.
Yeah, and with 2 survivors remaining, both injured, one of which at maximum infection, it looks pretty bleak for the survivors here. Disaster has just been a monster in these chases, ending them super decisively, and being able to like hook them in very nice spots in order to pressure generators and also get more out of it. That is not going to be quite a connection onto Private Demo here, but that is going to actually be a down here on the edge map. And Xayah is the last stage remaining. Disaster's just going to pick Private Demo here, get that kill, and probably dash right down toward Shack where the hatch is. And we're going to have to see how this endgame fares.
It's going to be a hatch standoff? Xayah might be positioned on top of the hatch, waiting for it. Cancel. Oh, she is! It's a hatch standoff, but against Wesker, it's so hard to get that off. And the hatch hitbox unfortunately leads to a grab. Good effort by Isaiah to get something cheeky going there. But that is going to round off our Wesker set.
Yeah, very strong 4K4 result from Disaster. Overcome today just looked really clean. I know that they just got back the old roster together after Bad Intentions OTF set. I'm not exactly sure the future of that team, but it's very cool to see them play again, and it's very cool to see Aether join us as well. I mean, they put up a fight for sure, and I'm sure that with time we will see them grow and get a lot better as well. So, but that is going to be the last of this matchup. Please do stay tuned for our next matchup. We have lots more DBD tonight here at the Grindhouse. That will unfortunately be the end of me and Georgie's run. But we do have much more to come. Please stay tuned and join the Discord for all updates. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you for watching. Stick around.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Grindhouse Week 4. We have TacoBell DBD on serve side, Redacted Fiend, Spellkin, Naga, and Autumn Nostalgia against the Spirit on Wrecker's Yard. So far, we have a very early find on a survivor in this S tier set, which you usually don't want to happen. You try to stealth out as much as possible, get on gens, and oh, that seemed like a crazy hit. Might have been a ping difference there. Autumn going down pretty fast, trying to take a hit with Redacted Fiend heal, but just didn't quite come through. Hooking over here on an active Gen 6. This could be problems team. Not quite knowing where the ace went. Finding them though, over towards 3. Not really camping this out, I see. We have Sloppy Butcher, Infectious Fright, which is something I didn't expect, I'm not going to lie. I don't really see that often on the Spirit, but it could come into play. Not really camping this super hard. Could get a stealth pick. But it seems that... Oh, here it comes. The Active Fiend coming in with the stealth pick. Going to go ahead and take away the base kit, borrowed time. Autumn Nostalgia running to Shack, dropping pallet instantly, going to waste as much time as possible for their team. Running back to 6, dropping pallet instantly. Is this gonna play a 50-50 hit? And just not winning it. We did hear the Infectious Fright go off on Gabe, but just did not work. Autumn doing a very good job at wasting as much time as possible. Great dead hard coming from Autumn to have even more time for the team. Going straight into 3. That gen just popped. 2 gens now have popped for this tunnel out, which is very, very good start for this team. So with the decisive, I think that they purposely had this early find. Great pallet stun coming out from Autumn Nostalgia. Three gens already. Dude, 4 gens already. Doing amazingly. I think a little bit of frustration coming from our Spirit player, Misfortune. So we have 6 Shack, and I think that is 10, if I'm not mistaken, are the gens. Sees Redacted Fiend inside Shack. Redacted Fiend trying to go for a hide-and-seek kind of play. Is found, though. Does get the pull, but this is going to be a trade. No, not actually going for the trade here. But is now going for Redacted Fiend. Redacted Fiend doing a good job of dodging that hit, giving more time for the survivors to pop the last gen, maybe denying a pain res as long as possible. Redacted Fiend going for the same thing again, but this time the killer was smart enough to short blink, or short... Yeah, short blink. Coming to 6, we see we have a lot of progress on 6. Here we have Naga and a Blast Mine coming through. Funny story, we were asking feedback for Grindhouse Scrims, and one of the only things we really heard was, please remove Blast Mine. Which I thought was very funny, because I didn't think it was a problematic perk, and I still don't think it's a problematic perk. It's just it's a funny little thing. Naga being very patient at not getting hit here at that pallet, which is just kind of a 50-50. An amazing game from our survivors here on Spirit. Oh, I think that is a quit. Everybody stay tuned. We will see exactly what happened here. Good job to the survivors. Be right back. Hello, we are back. Sorry, we had a unfortunate set of circumstances in our first game, but now we have Auzreus on Survivor side, and we have Naga from TacoBell DBD on the Spirits. We're catching somebody out here at 6. Not going to end up in a hit from the first phase. And we already see progress over here at 7. Getting on those gens extremely fast. Kind of just trying to listen out for the Dwight. The Dwight was really quiet, but somehow still found him. Very impressive hit. My ears couldn't hear it. This is why I don't play Spirit. Early Shack pallet drop coming in from Auzreus. With such a kind of low win con here, we have no Ed in play, which I'm very surprised to see. Gonna wait for the phase to come up. Strange 50-50 coming in. Does not win it though. Paradigm is playing this extremely well. Having to use a lot of resources, but nevertheless not going down. And I think we should see a gen pop here soon. And this should be a hit. This is. So our first gen pops. We have Pop Goes Weasel on the board. Remember, the win con is only 2 stages. 2 gens pop because of the unfortunate things that happened in the first game. Very kind of easy win con to hit here. We'll be tunneling the Dwight just to meet the win con pretty easily. That's a balance coming from the Dwight. He's going straight to this pallet. Downed, and they were going for a pallet save here, but it didn't come through because Naga was on top of it. Getting the tag with Sloppy Butcher. Okay, and that is our win con for TacoBell DBD, winning first set Spirit. But we still have the rest of the game to play. We still have 3 gens to do. Coming over here to 3, not seeing anything, no progress. I'm going to use the pop on this barely progressed gen. Kind of just camping this out, confirming the win. I think they don't know that there's a high tier penalty in play. Maybe they didn't read that part. Maybe that's why they're just camping this out for the win, possibly. We catch the Claude over here at 1. Just trying to get the unhook. Gets the unhook, but then instantly goes down into trade. Doing the gen in the face of the Spirit here. Gets the gen, but not gonna have a lot of distance for this phase that's coming right now. Good phase coming from Naga, downing Slasher DBD. So we still have 3, we still have Shack gen. I can't see the other gen just yet. Chasing on the Slasher, going to get the down. I'm going to insta-pick. Not going to slug any. And there's the decisive strike coming out from Slasher DB. I would presume that Slasher also has Dead Hard. Which is a popular combo. Yeah, he does have Dead Hard, but it just does not come through. The hits. Looking over here at 7, going straight to Shack. We hear some progress on there. Oh, and they pop 3. Okay, so we do have outs this game, it seems, coming. Finds the Claudette at 3, but sprint bursts away from the lunge. We got the down on the Claudette, going for the greed and going for more, because we have no Ed in play. Here's the door over at 1. Gets the down before Paradigm can get out. Insta-picking so he can't get out. Through crawling. And that is a death on Paradigm, because he was the original tunnel at the beginning of the game. And it seems that we're going to probably have 3 out here on 7. Very well played from each side. We will be right back. Hello, welcome back to Grindhouse Week 4. This game we have Artist, we have Autumn on the Artist, against Auzreus Survivors on Wrecker's Yard. Currently we are chasing at 7 onto Paradigm. Using the birds in the beginning of the game, not catching anybody, but finding them once they went up map. or down map, I should say. Getting an early first tag onto Paradigm, not really having many resources down towards 7 to work with. Placing this bird, head-on play coming from, I think that was the Claw chase. Using a bird trying to get a random hit onto Paradigm. Paradigm gets rid of the birds, goes back down to 7. I think Paradigm is just, even though there's no resources here, just trying to waste as much time as possible and have the hook out of position as much as possible. Kind of losing a 50-50. And just kind of has to go down and die for it. Our artist gonna hook up over here in 6. Going to shoot birds towards Shack 3 and 12. We have 2 people doubling Shack, trying to get that done before the first hook came out, but just did not happen. We also did see a bird hit. I think that was towards 12. I didn't get to really get a good angle at it. Setting up double birds, trying to get a double hit with the birds onto Shack. Kind of just camping out Paradigm here. Setting out more birds, just wasting as much time of the survivors as they possibly can. Getting 2 hits that time with birds. We should see a confirmed second stage here. Paradigm will go second stage, but 2 gens pop in the process. We have a 3-gen 3, 5, and 1, it seems. But I think Autumn is more worried about getting this tunnel out dead before hanging on to a 3-gen. Especially with how much info and range this killer has, I think that is the best play. Going for another cheeky double hit, but just not coming through. Still just camping out Paradigm. Paradigm missing a skill check. Having less time for the survivors to do gens. There is a 3rd gen coming out. Paradigm has died. That is our confirmed death. Tunnel out. Corey being hit with birds. And will be chased to 12 here at the tractor. We did see Slasher over there, but just didn't go for the hit. Gonna zone into the bird as much as possible. Corey is already injured, so that was just a 50-50. That was not one. Looking over here by 10. I don't think we still have a 3-gen. No, we do not have a 3-gen to protect. At this point, this is more about setting as many stages. Oh! An amazing hit coming out from Autumn on the artist. From 9 to 7 that hit was. We have confirmation on somebody 1. The Claudette coming back, trying to get this unhook, but just gets caught out of position and will go down for this. Forcing lockaway. So there's no slug coming through. Oh, well, Autumn deciding to drop the survivor. And probably will get a tag onto Ace in the meantime. I don't know if that bird was really going to do anything, especially after the tag. Autumn, I think going back for the slug that they put down earlier. Yes, indeed. Going to pick up the quad. He's going to hook right here on, like, shallow 7. We have a Gen 7, we have a Gen 9, and then we have a Gen over at 4/5 that we can protect. Corey is hit with birds, but this is one of those tiles that you can play effectively as artists. Just in time gets rid of the birds before the second wave comes into down. We are on the tractor route. Goes straight up into the truck. Oh, and the amazing, I don't think that was background, or not background player, I don't think that was balanced landing. I think that was light. Right through and just barely missing. Autumn having a lot of control in this game against this last gen that needs to pop. Basically knowing where all survivors are. Constantly shooting out birds, getting more information when needed. As an artist main myself, I tend to not use the birds as much as Autumn does. And I think that's something I really need to learn because they are a great information tool. Does not make this pallet over here at 3. We're gonna go for the straight pickup. Oh, do we have the save? We have the save coming out from Ace. Instead of just going back and trying to get a hit there, we're gonna go back to the gens and we're gonna try to get a 4K if possible. We do have Chase working on this gen over here at 9. Setting up these birds in a way to where they have to drop the pallet so they don't have enough time to... Amazing hit coming from Autumn here. They don't have enough time to get rid of the birds before the second bird comes in and takes a chance to hit them. I think they had the chance to get around the corner before that bird hit, but it just did not come through. Autumn looking very dominant on this killer, but the last gen does pop as soon as the pickup happens. Our gates are 5 and 1, it seems, and we have a hit on 5. Autumn gonna go for the snipe and then probably go check 1 to see if anybody's on 1. Nobody is on 1. We do see that somebody is still working 5 door. It's too lighted. Corey's caught out here and out of position. He's gonna probably get down right here again. Not slugging this. Autumn knows that they are on the other side of the map. They're not on any doors, so just gonna go ahead and confirm the hook. Shooting a bird over to 1. We see that I think that was the Ace, was over at 6. Trying to get over to that door on 5 because it's too lighted. Autumn playing this really defensively. Really watching this choke over here and trying to make sure that Ace doesn't go over to while also keeping Corey on hook. We see Ace Slasher coming in for the pull. Does not get the pull. Did not shoot the birds. Ace went to... Honestly, I did not expect that. Getting the bird down onto Chase here. And just setting a really good win con for TacoBell DVD. Amazing first game on the artist set for Autumn Nostalgia. We will be back soon with Auzreus and their killer on the artist. Stay tuned.
You're muted. Yes, sir.
I'm very sorry for that. I have been muted this entire time. I've been casting this entire game and did not realize I was muted. We do have a 3-gen here, and it's going to be kind of hard with how good the gen pressure has been, and an amazing hit coming through. It seems like a ping hit, if I'm not mistaken, because I thought they were on the complete other side of that window. That is a pain res on Shaq. Doing very well at protecting this 3-gen currently. It seems that TacoBell DVD's strategy is to always have 2 people on the Shaq gen. Very good tag onto Autumn coming out. Going for the tunnel onto Autumn. And that will come through. That is amazing. A very amazing down coming from Paradigm on the artist. But I do have to question, has Redacted Fiend been on the gen in Shaq this entire time? And how much more progress was put onto that gen? Oh, and they popped all gens. The win con from last game was set at 3k9. So we gotta see what we can do here. Instantly throwing this. Oh. And getting the down. Now, are we going to slug? Redacted Fiend called out here is not going to be able to make this, I don't think, to get the unhook. And that will be a 4K. Very well played from Paradigm. Once again, I apologize. I did not realize I was muted this entire time, basically. We could have something if they instantly started crawling towards the hatch. Nope, they did not. They're accepting their fate. And just crawled into the corner trying to get a fresh bleed out. Paradigm giving nodders, saying, yeah, I won this set. I did really, really good. Because y'all set a very high win con, and yet I still beat it. Paradigm just hanging out with this bird while we wait for the survivors to move on to the great campfire in the sky, as Taco would say. Taking a extremely long time for these survivors to just move on, it seems. There goes Redacted Fiend, and now we just gotta wait for Naga. And that will be the conclusion of our artist set. Thank you for coming to Grindhouse Scrims. We will be back shortly with the tiebreaker set. Hello, welcome back to the first match of the third set, Mastermind. We have TacoBell DBD on the serve side, and now we have Auzreus Corey on the Wesker. We see that we are going for a pretty... I don't know how to even say this. They're going for a no-air when they're setting the win con here. I don't know if this is coming out of kind of a frustration of how the other games have gone, or if this is just as backup. Usually I would think that you wouldn't want to bring no edge straight out the gates, if you're setting the win con, but we should see how it goes. Down here at 7, we find Redacted Fiend on the Jeff. The bounce landing coming out. Very good play from Redacted Fiend. Going straight up to top mid. I don't think we have an eye filler, so I think this might just end up in a tag onto the Jeff. It does end up in a tag onto the Jeff at main. One door has already been broken. And now the second door coming through broken. I think Corey just let him walk by accident, not realizing, not hearing Jeff, which is kind of funny because Jeff is extremely loud. But we do switch targets onto the Vittorio, another notoriously loud character, at 9. Losing a 50-50 with a slow vault, taking a tag, going straight up to 10, maybe even going all the way up to 11. The scratch marks just... Wait, where did our Vittorio go? Even I'm confused. I don't know where he went. We saw scratch marks down at 7, but I don't know if that was the Vittorio's. Firecrackers working as intended. Looking up and still being blinded. The Wesker who broke these doors earlier, now regretting it, not being able to get a tag onto the Sable because of it. We have a strong pallet setup here at 11. We've got tank treads, and then we have this
Playtime is over.
does manage to get the hit onto the Sable before they could drop the pallet. Now we're here in this jungle gym. Gonna go ahead and choose to just break the pallet instantly with brutal strength. These survivors are just kind of winning every mind game, just leaving, not staying to play these tiles whatsoever. This might backfire though, because they are going through a lot of resources. I think they're just banking off having a really good early game, which so far they very much are. Naga coming in, trying to take a hit for the Sable to prolong this chase. The Sable going all the way down to Killer Shack, deciding not to chase Killer Shack to guarantee even more time for the killer wasting. Coming straight here to these tank treads. This is a very hard palette sometimes to play, especially if there's ping. As an example here, we have the Vittorio going down at 11. Choosing not to hook at 12, I think because it was a very late down. Choosing to hook over here at 9 onto this gem that's progress. We don't have pop because we chose Noed over pop. The blast mine coming through. We're just wasting even more time. TacoBell DBD has been very good about wasting as much time as possible, which, to be fair, is the name of the game. You waste as much time as possible, get these generators done, get as many people out of the gate as possible. But in turn, that means that this left side of the map is kind of dead now, other than like that tank treads, and I think maybe we might have something still left at 7, but do not quote me on that. We hear progress on main, we have progress on this gen here at 8-9. We have 2 coming in for the save. I think that was a misplay here coming from TacoBell DBD, having the double tap, the double stages, the double health states being
There's
taken.
no point in hiding.
Vittorio hopping locker, so there's no slug play coming through. Gonna hook down here towards 7. We hear progress on 7 as well. TacoBell has been very good at attacking these gens. Over here at 8-9, we still have progress, or regression We find Redacted Fiend here working on this one. We know that he's balance landing, so he has no real threat of being tagged. Going straight back down to 9. They've kind of had these chases all in these active gens, and yet not a lot of downs have come from it. Doing very well at not getting themselves killed. Corey missing the double dash.
Too bad you won't make it
Redacted
much
Fiend will
further.
go down at 8. Will this be a pain res? Okay, this will be our second pain res coming through for Corey. This should help stall some of that insane progress that they had on these gens. Kind of just holding this 3 gen up here. We hear a lot of progress on main, but is anybody up there? Look, we hear the vault, or not the vault, the fall coming through. Somebody was up there, holding power, making sure they can't get away from them so they can take the tag. Oh, a very good double dash coming from Corey here. Getting the down before he could get around the corner. Gonna hook over here too. And that is a death at 3 gens. They had a very strong start to this game, but with that death, I think this could be a very big turning point in this game. I think that was Jen and Shaq, I think, just popped here. So we still have 7, we still have main, and we still have 11. Of course, 11, main, and 9 are is the 3 gen that we're playing over here. Getting a tag onto our Jeff
Do you actually think you could
in their
defeat
team
me?
chat. Every time we've asked for builds, has put I Heart Jeff or some kind of variation to this. Really showing of devotion to being on the hook and to loving Jeff. He's a very committed man. Kind of pushing the ace away from any of the gens. We saw that the ace is instantly running back as soon as the call out is made that the Wesker is going after the Jeff again. He is infected, but he's not fully infected just yet, so this could be a short chase depending on how fast this infection comes through and if a power hit is used. Okay. That is 8 being popped. There is no longer a 3 gen. We have 7, we have main, and I think we have 10. And a very good double dash coming from Corey here to get the Jeff down. And he's gonna hook top main, top mid. But the last gen pops. Noed is in play here. If I'm not mistaken, both of these survivors are... I can't actually remember. They are worth the same amount of hook stages here. Both of them are fresh, so if we can get at least one of these down, that could probably lead to a 3K9. Choosing to chase the Sable over here at 9. Playing very not cautiously. I don't think they expect the Noed.
You disappoint me.
Noed coming
Is
through,
that the
Sable going
best
down.
you've got?
So this will definitely be a 3K9 for our Wesker here. Unless there's some shenanigans afoot. going to the exit gates. Yep, no shenanigans are afoot, so that will be a 3k9. Very solid play from both sides. We will be right back with TacoBell DBD on the Wesker. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to the last game of this set. We have Autumn on the Mastermind. The win condition is 10 stages. It was a 3k9 last game. We see that Corey, all the way up at 12, not really wanting to chase it, but being reluctant to kind of leave this first chase, or this first sighting of a survivor. Now we see the ace over here at 11, not choosing to go on the ace though, flicking and going over to Corey at 1, getting a massive early hit here. Kind of going around, they drop the pallet and choosing not to stay on Corey to get that early first down if they can. Choosing to leave and try to get more tags on other survivors. Not a lot of gen progress coming out here in the beginning of this match. We do hear one was being worked there at 8, but not really paying it much mind. Reset coming out onto the Quentin. Very early reset. Moving on top of it.
Is that all you have?
Very good use of the power here. Hitting Slasher up the stairs in main. Slasher gonna bounce away from the window here. Going straight back over to the other side of main. Vaulting the pallet. We do have the power in play here though. So this could be early down. Not going to hit. Gonna vault back in main. Break door. Slasher choosing to go back on the other side of main again, but we're choosing not to stay onto Slasher. Going to instead move targets, try to spread out this pressure as much as possible. We see the Dwight here. He's gonna try to go for a mind game, does not hit it. Good patience from Paradigm. Using the power to try to cut off that a pallet, but did not lead into any tags. Slasher is fully infected, but instantly, as I say that, is healed from the infection.
Just accept your fate.
Like I pointed out in the first game, we're having a lot of aggression here, and the survivors are not taking many tags, but at the same time they are using a lot of resources. And as we've seen, Autumn is very comfortable on this killer with this power, so this could lead to a very high stage game here as well in the long run. Get the tag onto Chase. We're gonna break this pallet here. Will we commit? We are actually going to commit. We're going to try to do a mind game here onto main, but does not work. Runs back out to the front of main instead of choosing to go to one or another connecting tile. Once again, not leading to a hit. Autumn having a very rough time here trying to get this first down. Survivors being very good at not getting down here. Oh, as I say that, we got called out, and now Claudette hitting air. 3 gens for the first down of the game. Gonna hook here over at 10.
Just started.
We do have a 3 gen. We have main 10 and 1. It's looking like probably going to be the only hope of the game if we want to get super high stages for TacoBell DBD is to maintain this 3 gen and try to not have it popped. This survivor team seems to be winning every 50-50.
Do you actually
Paradigm
think
taking
you can
tag here
defeat
instead of going back to tunnel the Claude, we're going to stay onto Paradigm and try to get as much pressure as possible by just getting as many tags and downs as possible. Going for a flick here, but missing. Now we're just kind of greeting this eye tile as much as possible. If that would have connected, that would have been an amazing rebound down onto Paradigm, but unfortunately it did not, so we just have to get the down the old-fashioned way with an M1. Very, very good use of power there. For our second down in the
I'll
game.
see you dead.
No pain res has come through yet, but this might be our first one here at bottom mid. It is, and now we have Pop Goes a Weasel to play. We have No Way Out. Okay, 2 tokens. So that could also go... That could also be a crazy play here, instead of using Noed. We hear a lot of progress on main, trying to break this 3-gen. I imagine that is the balanced landing player, Blastmine coming through to take more time away from the killer. Fast on the hook on Paradigm. Gonna go check over at 10 to see what kind of progress is going on there. Doesn't seem like there's any progress. And instantly, as soon as the Wesker left, there was somebody back up on that gen. We have Slasher being chased here at 10. Not a lot of resources coming in handy here. Probably going to make it back to tank treads. Or not. Very interesting pathing coming from Slasher here. Just wasting as much time as possible. Don't want these resources going down, since there's so little now. This is looking like a very well done Survivor side game right now. Autumn can just not get a foothold of anything in this game so far. Kind of leaving the 3-gen here. Kind of realizing that you cannot protect that with how many survivors are still left on the board. Nobody's tunneled out, and also there was so much progression on that main gen. Going into the basement, I think this is because he knows that it's going to pop here.
Point in hiding.
This will give them time to open up gates, and then we see the No Way Out proc. Since we only have 2 tokens on this No Way Out, I don't know how useful it will be in the long run at getting these 10 stages needed to win the game. But I imagine it was still a surprise to the survivors to see No Way Out instead of Noed. Especially with how much mobility Wesker has as a killer. Finding Paradigm here at 1, out of position. This should lead to a down. And this will probably be a slug. Or not. Actually not choosing to slug Paradigm here. Probably just going for best result possible. Gonna hook here at 12. And we try to find somebody else in the meantime. Coming over here to 8, trying to see if there's any progress on the door. No progress on either door just yet. Slasher DVD caught out here at 8. We are at this Ormond. This Ormond is very tricky. It's a very tricky tile to play. But Slasher just choosing to leave and not being punished for it. These survivors doing amazing and not going down. Very slippery. Bounce landing coming out from the ace. but does not get enough distance to get away from Autumn on Mastermind. Door is open. I imagine that's door at 12. And this will be a 6-stage game. And the win will go to Auzreus. Everybody, Grindhouse will be right back with our third and final game of the night, Silence versus Sorrow. We hope to see you there. Stay tuned. Oh, never mind. A 1v1 coming out here. Slasher and Autumn having a 1v1 at Shack instead of Slasher just running straight to the hatch. Very fun interaction that I did not expect. Oh, very fast down for Slasher. It seems Autumn is going to give Slasher the hatch a good fun. Both of these teams playing very amazing tonight. This time, I'm actually signing off. We will be right back with our game, Silence versus Sorrow.
Too bad you won't make it much further. 7 minutes is all I could spare to play with you. Just started. Expected more from you.
All right, sorry about that. Had a small power outage for a second. We are currently having Silence versus Sorrow, Silence on Killer. We do see a kill already at 4 generators so far. Nervosito doing a good job to start with now. Sav being in chase here. Are not going to be able to get that bound, but we are going to be finding the injured Nancy here working on the gen. Is going to commit to this chase as she has nothing here. This is a decent dead zone. She does have Shack, but it is not going to be able to make it. Very good zoning here from Nervosito. The Serbs being able to pop 2 generators after the kill at 4. Very well done. We are going to have that slug here. See if we can get an injure, a tag, maybe even a quick down onto Sav. And Sav playing this very nicely so far. It is going to be wasting a decent amount of time. We are going to be seeing meds being picked right back up. Another bound, not going to be able to land. Nervosito trying to get this tag or injury is now going to decide to see if he can find them resetting, and it does look like he is going to interrupt the reset. Kate making her way into Shack, going to be instantly dropping the pallet. The vault coming through, the mid vault coming through, but unfortunately that is going to be a hit. And right back to the 7th gen that we go, pressuring Sav off the highly progressed gen. Oh. Is going to have a little bit of a moment there. Going to be trying to take chase back onto Sav here. Sav taking the chase top. Is going to be the balance. Going to be able to make his distance into main. It is going to force Nervosito to leave this chase. See if we can find our Nancy, who is working on this 3 gen. It does look like Sav coming in for a hit take. Window Bolt coming through the bound, and a very nice down coming through from our killer. That is going to be the eruption as well. And the pain res. So that gen is not going to be popped anytime soon. It does look like we are going to still try to go for Sav here, as we can bounce in between the hook and the chase. Sav going to be taking the chase up the top. Is going to be grabbed. Would imagine that the unhook is going to come through soon here. Sav taking chase over to 11. Still has a God Filler over here. Is going to be instantly thrown and instantly broken. And it does look like Sav is going to be dying into the corner. Going to try to Z-wall juice it up as we see the unhook coming through. But unfortunately, that mid-volt is not going to be able to get him much. And we are going to opt to take the hook into 11, which is a pain res, and serves not going for the reset. Are still trying to pressure gens for the potential 4K1 or 4K all. We do have a pallet drop going down here instantly, and Nancy trying to spray on it is going to get grabbed. And if Kate isn't able to pop that last gen, it does look like this might be a 4K2, as we do see that unhook coming through, and Kate being the one found. Not going to be seeing Sav trying to rotate for the pull. That Kate is going to go down. Not going to slug for this. Is going to go for most likely their last pain res. And that is going to be the case, and the unhook coming through. Serves currently now stuck in an Altruism cycle after the decent comeback from the kill at 4. We are going to choose to pick our gen here. Not going to take the chase onto Nancy. Going to go right back to the hook, as we know that Nancy can't progress any other gens right now. We are going to hear Quentin. Yes, Quentin is going to be still sitting at 2. Not going to be able to cross for the pull. The bounds coming through, and the Volt not going to be able to save him again, and that hindered along with it. Now we are going to choose the slug here, seeing if we can find Nancy crossing for the pull, but it does seem like Nancy could potentially be working Shack or stealthing for the pickup onto Sav here. Very little progress on the Shack gen. Nancy could be rotating fully over to the pull. Although she's still sitting at Shack, is going to be trying to stealth for the pickup, but it does look like Nervosito is going to choose to pick Sav up now. Is going to take the hook. Med's currently in a decent position here for this unhook, but Nervosito, not worried about the gens, is going to be able to go right back to hook, and Med sneaking in for that pull. A very good pull. Sav is going to make his way down the map. Not going to be sighting the Nancy. We do see Blood and the Scratch Max setting bottom. They do know both serves are on the bottom of the map now. Med's having that pallet drop or Volt. We are going to see Rainy dying here. Going for the 4-lane mind game. It does look like Meds is going to be trying to W. It is going to dodge that bound. Very nicely done. Still going to play this 4-lane pallet. Now trying to make their way up the map, but going back down, and that is going to be a slug. And then we are going to find Sav sitting back on that 7 gen. And is going to try and juice out his last chase here. Or for the mind game. Sav playing very patiently, not volting into the killie. Is going to take that volt. Are going to have a little bit of a M2 mind game going on here. Sav playing this very patiently right now. And is going to unfortunately not get that hit. Very well played from Nervosito. Going to be a swing and a miss there. Going to go for the M2 once again, but unable to land it. Sav doing a very good job at this Orman tile. The Volt comes through. The hindered is on Sav, so still playing this very well while hindered. Oh, Nervosito trying to go for a cheeky hug tech here. Going for another one, but not going to be able to get it. Is going to be able to get the down though, and that does look like it is going to be a 4K2 for Silence's killing. Very well played from both sides. A very good try for the recovery on the serve side. And we will be right back with Sorrow's killer. Alright, welcome back. This time we have Sorrow on killer. We are going to be having meds with Pop, Painres, Corrupt, and Brutal this time. No Eruption. We are going to have a decent 5-gen top, not the greatest. We are going to have the classic 4-gen though, 9, 11, 10, and 1. Wait. 9, Bane, 1, and 11. And we are going to see two survivors off the start. Is going to opt to take chase onto our Maria here. The Lithe coming through, going for the mind games here. Maria trying to make it to the hill, is going to be able to make it around, is going to be going for that drop off. The pallet pre-thrown for them. They are going to be trying to play that patiently, but not going to be able to get away with the 50-50. Is going to be taking that hit into main for a potential head-on play here. The Volt coming through. We do see the scratch marks going back towards 11 side. Med's going to be breaking the top main door, as we do have Maria still keeping the chase main here. We are going to break that pallet. Is going to go for a double bound. Not going to be able to make it, giving Maria the distance to be able to make another pallet, as we do see that top mid-gen get completed. Maria making her way over to the 4 lane. Is going to be committing to the 4 lane. Going to be taking that Volt. Meds as well going to be joining them in vaulting. Very patient on the pallet. Is not going to be throwing it yet. Another Volt coming through. That is going to be Nervosito trying to make the pallet. Not going to be able to make it though with the distance they have, and that is going to be the down. And another generator popping for Silence. A very good chase to start off with, given the 4K2 win con here. The map is not fully split yet, but we are going to see our Michaela rotating to the top. Not going to choose to chase it. Is going to be heading directly back to Hook. Not going to be able to find anybody off guard, as it does look like Meds is going to try to secure a second stage or even a death here. But we do have these generators being progressed, and overcommitting over to 1 is going to be seeing that pull come through and head directly back, taking our chase to bottom now so we can get those top generators done for our serves. We do have Ace shadowing nearby for a hit take. The pallet is going to go down, and Maria is going to make her way to 5 with a double window tile. Playing out her check spots on the first window, is going to be able to make Shack, but unfortunately is not going to be able to do too much with that. But we are going to see the decisive strike is going to give them more chase time here. Still going to use the life to be able to make this eye filler 4. Is going to try to get bound for distance, and now Meds realizes that that chase is not going to be the smartest option. Is going to be trying to make our way back up to the gen, see if we can push people off. 1 being very high progress. Michaela already pre-left and made their way down the map. Not going to be able to give any free tags. And we are going to have a dry kick going there. Meds trying to see if we can find anybody crossing, any reset on the bottom half of the map. We are going to be seeing the spray. It does look like we are going to be chasing Nervosito once again. The bound is going to come through with the injure. Now Nervosito is still going to have this 4-lane pallet, and it is going to go down instantly. Meds trying to mind game here. Does look like Nervosito does still have a decent amount of distance. Meds not going to be able to get the bound. And now with this pallet still being up, we are going to be able to take the Volt and now head back to top, as Nervosito does now have anywhere that they can go as long as nobody gets pushed off a gen. But it does seem like we are going to have all 3 of our survivors interrupted, and Nancy is going to be taking that tag, making her way over to 10. Is going to be trying to get that Volt, is going to be able to land it. currently seeing all 4 survivors this time around. Ace being in 10, Michaela running into the middle of the map, Maria going over to 9, is going to be heading back over to the Shen to get a nice dry kick. And now heading back to the top of the map where we are going to find our Nancy heading over to 3. It does look like Nancy is going to be playing this filler and is going to be camping the pallet and getting hit without being able to drop it. Very unfortunate. And that might be another pan res, and that is going to be another pop for that gen if somebody does keep it from regressing. As we do have our Maria here is going to be dropping off the hill. Not going to be our balance player. It is going to be the life player, and it is going to be another down. Now, it is going to be hooked directly near our 11 gen, but we do have that bottom gen being completed. Very well played from our survivors on silence. And that is going to take the set for silence as well. And it does look like we are going to be just taking our 3 out. That is going to be the case. A 1k for our Sorrow Killer. Very well played from Silent Serves. Very good chase from Nervosito. And we will be right back with Ghostface with Sorrow on Killer once again. Welcome back as we do start our second set, and it is going to be Ghostface. We do have Sorrow once again on Killer. It is going to be Swappa this time. We do have Pain Res, Sloppy, Eruption, and Corrupt. And we do have a 4-gen top. It is going to be seeing if we can find any survivors off guard here. It is going to be seeing Nervosito here on the one side of the map. It is going to get a little bit of stock there, making their way over to the left side. It is going to be finding our Michaela and our Nancy. Going to be getting a little bit of stock onto our Nancy here. It is going to be getting revealed and heading directly back over to our Michaela, who is going to seem to be going to play this pallet, but is going to give the tag, making their way into the main room. And it does look like Swap is going to choose to leave here with power back up. We are going to be getting an insane stock through the wall, and not going to be able to get the complete stock, but we do have Wallet. That is going to be our power given back on the pallet break. Is going to get that eruption started with our gens. Is going to be going right back into stock and seeing who else we can find caught off guard. Is going to be checking our 8 gen here. Does not look like we are going to be committing to that. Checking library. Is going to be checking all of bottom. We do hear progress on the 6, as we are going to be finding our Nancy, who is also stocked. It is going to get that instant reveal. Is going to choose to get that eruption and also get our power back as our Nancy drop the pallet and head our way back up the map. So far, Swappa having very good job with our stocks, keeping in nice and high. We are going to get the exposed onto Nervosito. Is going to be able to get another tag onto our Michaela, and it does look like we are going to choose to take chase onto our Michaela here. Is going to have a nice god palette here. Going to be throwing that instantly, and Swappa choosing to leave that chase. Nervosito not going to be hopping back onto that gen as he is marked. It does look like we are going to see now trying to cut off this Michaela. Not going to be able to find her just yet. does look like she is going to be trying to make her way back to that gen, but unfortunately is going to be caught off guard, and that is going to be the down along with our first generator popping. So far, our serves playing a very safe game. Not going to be giving any quick downs. Our pain res here first. We do see Ace here urbaning around the gen. Is going to get stalked a little. Not going to be able to get the reveal from that distance. Is going to get halfway stalked. And Swappa is going to try to confirm a second stage here, as we do have somebody hopping back onto that gen. It is going to be Nervosito, but Swappa not going to take the chase. Now checking our other top gen here, not going to be seeing Ace hop back on it, still regressing from pain res. And that reveal is going to come through from Michaela, making sure that that gen is regressing. He does have a very nice 3-gen here. Ace coming in for the unhook. That is going to be a trade, but that is also going to be another pain res onto our generators. Now Swappa is going to overextend here, and we are going to have somebody else nearby for an insta pull. Very aggressive pull that is going to put our serves in a decent spot here, but Ace going to be running directly back into the killer and is going to go down. We do hear his footsteps coming up, but not going to be able to make the pallet save. Along with that, there is going to be another generator popping for Silence. So far, they do have the gen pressure. It is not going to be the 3-gen. Nancy getting caught off guard here. We are going to get the exposed and is going to go down. Not going to be able to drop that pallet, and we are going to be having another pain res onto our generators. And that is going to be the other top gen. Currently, all of our top gens not progressed, along with that last bottom gen not going to be progressed. As we do sit in between both of these hooks, is going to be getting a decent amount of stock onto Nervosito. Michaela coming in from behind is going to be able to get that unhook. Swappa going for the tunnel out right now. Currently Swappa in a very good spot here for a potential 4K2. Most likely a 4K1 if the serves do decide to pressure that bottom gen. And that is going to be our first kill at 2 generators. So far, a very well played game, as we do not have any gen pressure on our 1-gen. We are going to be seeing an injured survivor trying to pressure the main gen. Is going to be walking their way down the map, but is also going to be getting caught off guard. And that is going to be another down and another hook inside of Swappa's 3-gen. We are going to go directly back into our power. Now going to be checking this gen, which has now been progressed. Not by too much, but we are going to be pushing the Nervosito off there for a moment, as we do have the unhook coming through. Currently, both of these gens being erupted. And we are going to cut off our survivor here. Our survivor serve is going to be able to make it bottom. Swappa now going to take his power and head back over to our 8-gen. Trying to see if we can get a exposed down here. Oh, and Nervosito is going to be working on the gen and is going to be caught off guard. And Eruption giving the info that somebody hopped directly onto that main gen. And it does look like they still are working it, as we do see a little bit of the aura. underneath the generator. That is going to be our first hook onto Nervosito, not being a pain res. Very good choice not to waste a pain res there, as we do now have our serves trying to make their way down the map, trying to avoid the tags. We do have the unhook coming through, and it is going to be our injured Nancy, now currently having both serves injured here. Nancy is going to take the down, and the Swappa is going to choose to pick here instead of Slug, as our Nancy here is dead on hook, if I remember correctly. That is going to be the case. Now a 2v1 at 2 gens remaining with a extremely good 3 gen. Alright, going to be checking around the top of main here to see if our Michaela is lurking around. Not going to be able to find her. It does look like we are going to be making our way back down to this 8 gen. Does not look like Nervosito is going to be hopping back on it. A potential reset could be coming through for SRs, but we do find our Michaela trying to get back onto this main gen. It is going to be caught off and is going to be heading up to the top of main and trying to make their way bottom, so Nervosito could potentially get onto that one of those top gens. Michaela doing a very good job here, not getting found. And that it is going to make Swappa go back around and check this gen. It is going to get that eruption right back onto it. See if we can spot out the Renato, and that is going to be true. He is going to be trying to make his way top, trying to find an easy chase here. Does look like Renato has left his previous position. We are going to find him though in this 11 room, and the mind games coming through from Swappa. That is going to be the down and eruption. And now we are going to choose to slug here to confirm the 4K2. And we do have Michaela stealthing into the 6th room, not trying to get found, trying to potentially just wait for bleed out here for the hatch, so they can potentially turn a 4K2 into a 3K. Swappa standing by the lockers, trying to listen for the breathing. It's not going to be able to hear anything. Going to be checking the exit gates for a 50-50 door. Once hatch has spawned, a decent amount of bleed out still left on Nervosito. And Michaela's still sitting inside of the 6th room. Does look like Renato. Oh, we are going to be finding the Michaela inside 6, and that is going to be Michaela running over to the slug. It is going to be a nice pickup and a pallet directly on them. Oh, but the swing through the pallet, that is going to be the down, and the next slug now committing to Michaela, as we now do have info of her. And that is going to look like the 4K2. Michaela is going to be having her last chase of the game. A potential another pickup could come through, but it does look like Michaela, oh, very well played. very patient, is going to be heading into library and making their way around, trying to juice out all of their materials, but this pallet was thrown earlier. But we do have a pallet here, but unfortunately she is not going to be able to make it, and that is going to be the slug. Very well played from Swappa, a very strong 4K too. And both of these serves being hooked already. Bleed outs shouldn't matter in this rule set. So even if they don't. Okay, yeah. So even if Nervosito does bleed out, it is still going to count as all stages. But Swappa still choosing to try and look around for him. It might be a while till he finds him unless he hears him. It's not going to be the case. Now just looking around for the Michaela. Michaela crawling for her life to try and find Hatch. And that is going to be Michaela being found. That is going to secure a 4K2 to start off the Ghostface set. Very well played from Swappa. Very well played from the serves. And we will be right back with you with Silence on Killer this time. Alright, welcome back to our second match of our second set of Ghostface on Lares. This time we have Silence on Killer and Mari bringing in a very strong Hex build. Ruin, Retribution, Devour, and Penti are going to be looking to try and get some quick downs here. Hopefully we are going to be finding our first serve and our first tag here onto Swappa. That is going to be a lucky break, or no, that is going to be parental guidance, not lucky break. And we are going to be getting the stun here, and it does look like Mari going to be finding another serve. Working on this gen is going to be making our way up the map, going to be dropping that god palette. And Mari is going to be spotting out our third survivor here. That pallet is going to go instantly down. We are going to be playing the 50-50 on the pallet. It is not going to be able to get it. It is going to be another tag. It does look like Mari is going to be playing our hit and run game right now, trying to get as many serves injured as possible to be able to cut them off later on. As we do have Ruin in play, it is going to be easy to push serves off gens and get that regression going, as we do find Swappa is going to be pushing off our gen, going to be having that pallet dropped, and going to be greeting our next pallet. The next pallet is going to be dropped, but unfortunately Mart is going to be able to read that and get the down. Going for a little bit of slug, making sure nobody is nearby for a save. And that is going to look like a basement hook to start off with. So far, a very good start for Mari. And we do have our first totem cleanse, getting that retribution value. We are going to be seeing Sav here hop it directly back on the gen. It was reset, but we are going to be trying to get that stock. Not going to be able to fully get it, and is going to opt to get our Penti up. And the 50-50 once more is not going to be able to win it. Is going to be taking that hit and making his way over to the next pallet. And is actually going to choose to make our way into the library, where basement is going to be going into that corner there. But unfortunately, Mari not going to be able to get the down. He is going to be making it. The unhook coming through the body block as well. Now 3 survivors injured. And it does look like she is going to choose to go for the tunnel out here on Swappa. The mid-volt coming through, but the SA ping is going to not let that happen. And that is going to be Swappa's second hook at 5 generators remaining. Our Penti being cleansed once more, seeing both serves running to try and group up to reset, but that retribution is going to be able to cut Sav off as well. And now is going to take that slug, going to be trying to find our Renato, who is going to be sitting at this exit gate pallet. The pallet is going to get broken, and does not look like Renato has too much to work with. We do have this pallet already thrown earlier. We do have a window here. It does look like it might be a potential down here. Not going to be going towards the pallet. Is going to be forcing a locker to prevent the slug, but we do know where the Kate is. We are also going to be catching the Kate off from the unhook and just completely cut them off from getting the unhook, forcing the Kate to go and try to pick Sav up, as we do see the pickup happening now. That is going to be Swappa dead at 4 gens remaining. A very good start for Silence here. And we are going to be finding Sav here at the exit gate. That is going to be a down on him once again, and another slug is going to come through with our ruin gone. Marie trying to put as much pressure as possible on here to get the win con that they need. We are going to be finding both of our survivors sitting here. Kate trying to rotate for the pickup on Sav. It does look like Mari trying to do a little bit of a mind game, catching Renato off. Is going to take chase onto him instead at this pallet here. Going to be going for the crouch mind games. Is going to go for the swing, but not going to be able to land. More helicopter spins happening. Going for another swing, and that is going to be the down. And going the slug once again, going over to here to kick the pallet. Is going to go right back into power. Seeing Sav work on this generator once again. It does look like they are going to try to play the 50-50 for a third time, but is instantly going to lose the 50-50 this time, and that is going to be the slug. Now with Rainy being the only survivor up, we are going to see the pickup happen very quickly. Very good rotation there. But we do now have Renata not going to be able to go anywhere here. Mari going for the swing, and the SA ping coming through onto Perks. And then now slugging him. And now we do see the Kate trying to come around for the pickup. The pickup does come through. The tag on Kate does also come through. And we are going to be taking our chase on Sav once again. And that is going to be a slug. Not going to be able to make the locker. And we do see Kate trying to rotate for it. The pickup onto Perks. We do hear her through the wall. And it does look like we are going to have a 4K4 coming out from Mari. And a DC coming from Rainy. Very well played from Mari. making sure that that 4K2 win con, or that 4K3 win con does go to work. Very strong performance, very good mind games, catching all the survivors off guard. And that is going to be confirming the win for Silence. Very well played in the Wesker set, very well played in the Ghostface set. And that is going to be all for Grindhouse tonight, as both of these survivors do die on hook. I hope everybody has a fantastic night, and we will see you next time.